Today, we're going to talk about two short stories that Gu Wengui told in the live broadcast on December 9, 2018, about the G20 summit between China and the US. The first story about South China Morning Post. Whose newspaper is this? This reporter named Zhou Xing. Before going to the G20, President Trump held the meeting and asked why Mr. Peter Navarro was not here. However, President Trump immediately ordered to take Peter back by military aircraft and take him to the G20 in Argentina. Just after President Trump gave the order, the plane was not even arranged yet. The South China Morning Post reported this news on November 29, 2018, revealed that Peter Navarro would fly with the president to the Argentina conference. You can imagine what is the background of the South China Morning Post, what kind of information that they can get from the insiders. The second story. In Argentina time, Zhou Xing had sketched out the outcome of the G20 summit. On the November 28th or 29th, almost before Argentina had even started the G20 summit. By the time the G20 dinner had not even started, he had already gone out and reported exactly what the Chinese Foreign Ministry, Wang Yi, and the Chinese inside had said. President Trump and President Xi have reached an agreement to stop imposing tariffs for 90 days, the report said. However, this 90 days, it is impossible for Zhou Xing to make it up by himself. Originally, the US side decided to tell President Xi Jinping in earnest that the US would raise tax on January 1st. And then what the US would do in February and March. They list a series of plans. But China didn't give US the opportunity. Wang came and said, "On behalf of your good friend, I will give you an answer about 100 questions that you are interested in." On the first question, the US side looked at each other surprisedly. On the second question, everyone was even more surprised. On the third question, everyone was stunned about the US side. What does this mean? The Chinese side is fully aware of the US policies and plans, and does not give the US a chance to pull the gun out. Whatever you want from the US side, Chinese will promise to give it to you. And just a simple bargaining about 90 days to implement the plans, the Chinese side has responded to all the topics of interest on the US side, and this report was made by Xi Jinping himself. What is the concept of this? Peter Navarro has not boarded on the plane. The Chinese side already knew. Before the G20 started, China had already reported the result of the G20 meeting. And the G20 dinner had not yet started. Zhou Xing already gave out the answers, and it was 100% accurate. Do you think there are still have any secrets behind the G20? So who's the spy hiding in the White House? They purposely leak out the information, fiddle around the politics, and they end up trying to manipulate the stock market behind them. That's why China's A-share market have soared. So let's see whose stocks went up. Which stocks has risen? Including the United States, who sold off? And when they sold off? They swept from China's A-share market to America and to Europe, all over the place. If you can keep an eye on these few people, you will know the core of China's policy. The first Jiang Zemin grandson, Jiang Zhicheng, at his Yubo capital. He worked within 20 to 30 foundations, so keep an eye on Jiang Zhicheng. The second, want to keep an eye on a few big families that have a relation with Wang Qishan in Hong Kong. In order to understand, we need to look at the Tian Huiyu, Tian Guoli, and Zhu Yunlai's foundation. The new Standing Committee of the Central Committee and the old Standing Committee belong to the same group as Xi Jinping, Wang Qishan, and Jiang's family, and Meng's family. Look at what these funds have done in those days. They are the winners in this world, and 3 American families. The money that's been washed out of the stock market, the wealth that's being transferred, is definitely not less than $5 trillion. Anyone who's been involved in the FBI and CIA investigation, if you don't look at these things, you will never find anything. China has mastered every move of the United States and made a calculation to President Trump. You still have more than 400 days left. I will waste your 90 days and then negotiate for another 90 days. You only have about 200 days left. China believes that if it affects the midterm elections of the United States, China will win the next 100 years. If we lose the midterm elections and the Republicans win, China will lose 100 years. They must win at any cost. The abilities to get U.S. intelligence information, the ability to manipulate intelligence information, the ability to turn intelligence information into value, and it has to be 100% accurate every time. Only one person who manipulates a country can do such things. Do you guys get it? Please follow us on YouTube channel, The Voice of Agor Media. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe The Voice of Agor Media.